So, there was a 42-year-old woman. Her name was Ellen. Ellen was warm and cheerful, open and generous by nature. She had always worked at an electronics factory. In the eyes of her co-workers, Ellen was a good woman. Hard-working and attractive. Kind and capable, no wonder her colleague Zhao Wei secretly admired her. He always looked out for her, openly and quietly. Both of them had been divorced before, and both had playful personalities. If they really ended up together, I'd definitely be there at their wedding banquet. Ellen came from the countryside, because her family was poor. She barely went to school. By her teenage years, she was already out working. A few years later, under her parents' arrangement, she married a young man from her village. She married too early. At 21, she gave birth to her daughter, Zhao Qin. When Zhao Qin was 13, Ellen and her husband divorced. Zhao Qin stayed with her mother to earn tuition money for her daughter. Ellen thought long and hard and decided to work in a big city. Zhao Qin lived with her grandparents. While working away, Ellen met her co-worker, Zhao Wei. Zhao Wei had been divorced and had never remarried. Zhao Wei showed a lot of care for Ellen. After her divorce, Ellen had been lonely for a long time. She needed emotional support, and she shared common ground with Zhao Wei. Naturally, the two of them grew closer. Later, they started living together, making their relationship official. Zhao Wei was not young anymore, and he had no children yet. He hoped Ellen could give him one. More than once he told her, "If you have my child, we'll get married right away." Ellen didn't reject the idea, but somehow, no matter what they tried, her belly showed no signs of life. After living together for a year and a half, at that point, Ellen's daughter Zhao Qin moved into their home. That June, her daughter Zhao Qin no longer wanted to be separated from her mother, and asked her to take her to work at the factory. Ellen also wanted to spend more time with her daughter, so she agreed. When Zhao Qin met Zhao Wei, she politely greeted him as uncle. Zhao Wei was truly stunned by Zhao Qin's beauty. This girl looked so much like her mother. But she was young, full of youthful charm, and 100 times more attractive than Ellen. After that, Zhao Wei showed great care for Zhao Qin. Whenever Zhao Qin tried to do housework, Zhao Wei would rush to take over, not letting her tire herself. He knew what Zhao Qin liked to eat, and bought truckloads of it for her. Zhao Qin was young, with little experience in love. These gestures were impossible to resist. Gradually, she began to feel that Zhao Wei was the best man in the world. One with feelings, and one with intentions. Both forgot that what they were doing would bring Ellen great pain. One night, Ellen worked overtime and asked her daughter to go home and rest first with Uncle Zhao Wei. Zhao Wei specially prepared a lavish dinner, and even brought out some wine. Zhao Qin sipped a little. Her cheeks quickly flushed red, but she knew very well what Zhao Wei wanted. Zhao Qin did not refuse. Instead, she accepted him. Once there was a first time, there would be a second, third, and many more. Something like this could never stay hidden. Soon, Zhao Qin showed signs of morning sickness, and her belly began to grow. When Ellen found out, she angrily asked, "Since when did you have a boyfriend?" Zhao Qin stammered, unable to name anyone else. Finally, she confessed to her mother that she had already been with Zhao Wei, and that they truly loved each other. She begged her mother to accept it. "If I can't be with Zhao Wei openly and honestly, I will be in great pain." Zhao Wei begged Ellen to give them her blessing, saying he only loved Zhao Qin and wanted to live his life with her. This news struck like a bolt of lightning, leaving Ellen completely stunned. Such an intense triangle, and her rival in love turned out to be her own daughter. In a fit of rage, Ellen stormed into the police station to file a report, demanding that Zhao Wei be arrested. She claimed that while they were living together, Zhao Wei had violated her 21-year-old daughter, and had done so multiple times. She insisted he must be punished, preferably with life imprisonment. Such a scandalous love affair immediately caught the attention of Officer Ha. If what Ellen said was true, then Zhao Wei was worse than a beast. The problem was, although Ellen filed the report, her statements were inconsistent. Her account of events, contradictory and confusing. To clarify the truth, Zhao Wei and Zhao Qin were brought in for questioning. Faced with the facts, Ellen finally admitted she had filed a false report. Her real intention was not to send Zhao Wei to prison, but to separate him from her daughter. Considering the circumstances, Officer Hat gave Ellen a stern lecture. And education. Zhao Wei, too, was criticized for his unethical and improper behavior. In the end, Zhao Qin agreed to cut ties with Zhao Wei and returned to her hometown immediately. Ultimately, this tragic love triangle arose because Zhao Wei lacked responsibility, chased after novelty, was emotionally unstable, and had no moral boundaries. This led to his infidelity and betrayal. A selfish person at heart can never find true happiness. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thank you.